Hello YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel Annabelle, and today I am going to be reviewing the film Hamnet, also known as Hamlet. Just so you are aware, it does state at the beginning of the film that the name Hamnet meant the same as Hamlet during the time of William Shakespeare in the Elizabethan era. The film is a 12:8 and it's 2 hours and 5 minutes long. It features Jessica Buckley, who plays Anne Hathaway, who is Hamlet's mother and William Shakespeare's wife. And also it's got Paul Maskell in from Gladiator 2, which didn't do too well and I didn't bother reviewing, and Ordinary People, or Normal People, that's the one. And that is excellent, and I have reviewed that. Nature plays a huge part in this film, as does death. It is a film that is about the life of William Shakespeare's family. In fact, William Shakespeare, the name Shakespeare, doesn't really come up, and William is only called William once during this film. There are a lot of William Shakespeare play links and Easter eggs throughout this movie. You get the witches from Macbeth, because Agnes, that's also another name for Anne Hathaway, Shakespeare's wife, is in this book, because it's based off a book, seen as like a witching woman who knows the earth and knows which plants can kill you and which ones can't, and how to save people, and so on and so forth. There's also a kestrel, which is a really important motif. There is also a tree with a hole in the tree, which is so creepy. And the touching of hands is really important because you can see the future. The book is written by a Chinese woman who deliberately didn't want to put any of Shakespeare's like play stuff in it. She wanted to be very domestic, and it's about the fact that Shakespeare's wife, her mother died when she was young, her father remarried and had a stepmother, and it was just her and her brother from his first wife that have this connection, and then obviously her father had other children with the stepmother. And it really is a very domestic tale, because Shakespeare's first child is Susan, and then he has twins. One is Julia and one is Hamnet, or Hamlet if you prefer. And they do a lot of cross-dressing, because they are they're basically a lot of twin myths in this about the children, because twins are considered lucky. And it is true that Susan and Julia both wrote their own prose. And the movie shows this. One thing that I will say about this, if you didn't have any prior knowledge of who William Shakespeare was, if you were going into it thinking it's going to be all about William Shakespeare, that won't suit you very well. They do kind of turn it that way because of the play Hamlet, and how Hamlet reflects Hamnet, who died, who is a little boy that passes. And it's basically a long love letter between William Shakespeare and his son, because William Shakespeare was not in the house when his son died. His mother was, and a lot of people have said that her wonderful female character is set up, and then suddenly she's married, and suddenly she's a mother, and she fulfills those. She's so ingrained in those roles, we never really see her independent character again. But actually we do. How she handles things, how she refuses to go to London and live with him, because she knows that her husband's life there is his life. She knows that her husband can't stay in the little town because he feels trapped. He needs to do more. It's absolutely fascinating to watch. And obviously, yes, you can point out, there's the Macbeth Three Witches, which is an excellent scene, by the way. But actually, you shouldn't go into it trying to spot William Shakespeare plays. It's not a tick list. There's the Tempest link because the twins have cross-dressed and this, that, the other. It's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be actually going to learn about how this author has interpreted William Shakespeare's family to be. It's brilliant. It reflects the time period. You've got the Christian links, you've got the religiosity of the period well reflected, and the fact that William Shakespeare perhaps wasn't as religious, neither was his wife. They were very natural people. I loved the kestrel. I thought that was a brilliant motif. I also love the teal that they dressed little Hamlet in. I'm loving the fact that the hole in the tree emphasised the hole in the theatre. So that's fascinating. The wings of a theatre are the supporting area, and then you come in, and then you've got the ghosts, and it was all really well done, and the flood was really well done. Nature, very much like at the Bone Temple, film, is a huge character in this. In fact, you could say that as soon as nature stops being important, that's when the problems start for this family. Obviously, poor little Hamlet dies of plague. That is not a spoiler, it's common knowledge. But what is really interesting is the book actually has less about William Shakespeare. He's not even mentioned in it. Because it's told from the female perspective. This film, they've had to sort of incorporate a little bit more, and they've had to make a go to the play, and everybody's like reaching out. And when he dies, it's almost as if we're collective grieving over the fact that death is so unfair, but a necessary part of life, and people are weeping. It's brilliantly done. I really enjoyed it. But what it would... If you came to this and had no knowledge of who William Shakespeare was, you'd pick it up, but I think at certain parts of this film you would be lost. If you come to this film with too much knowledge of William Shakespeare, you're going to be lost, because it's like, well, this isn't about William Shakespeare's life, he's hardly in it. And I'm like, well, no, it's about his wife and his children and Shakespeare's family, and about how Shakespeare did not get on with his father, and how he actually loved his mother, and various other bits and bobs. It's not about the play, but it is about the play Hamlet, because he wrote Hamlet as like a way of dealing with his grief over his little boy that died. In this version, they have him dying from the plague. He dies of a fever. That there is one with Judi Dench and Kenneth Branagh, where Anne Hathaway learns to write, and that's equally good film. Hamnet, 5 out of 5. There is no other thing for it. Jess Buckley's good. If she doesn't get an Oscar or a Golden Globe, I will be very surprised. It's a brilliant film. 5 out of 5 from me. I feel that if you go expecting anything, if you go to it expecting William Shakespeare, you're going to be disappointed. If you go to it not understanding that it's about William Shakespeare's family, you're going to be disappointed. If you go to it with an open mind and just enjoy it, because it is slow paced, very much like the Bone Temple, but not. It takes its time. It doesn't rush, though the courtship is a little bit rushed, I have to say. But the placement of eggs is really important. There's eggs. Yeah, I love eggs, children metaphor. It's brilliant. The cinematography is excellent. 5 out of 5 from me. Yes, there are a lot of egg scenes, and when they're there, like a broken egg, oh, something bad's going to happen. Eggs in little wool, in that straw wool, oh, we're going to have children. It's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. So yes, and that's the end of the review. Go to it expecting it to be about William Shakespeare's wife, and then you will enjoy it. If you go to it with any other mindset, you'll just get lost. And I also think that some people will watch it. I think the best people that will enjoy watching this will be the people who've never heard of Shakespeare. They'll get the most out of it, because to them it will be brand new. Whereas other people will go with like a tick list and go, which is very annoying and frustrating. I really enjoyed it. I loved the fact that they included so much nature. The kestrel was brilliant. Anyway, I've talked enough. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and do click the notification bell. Bye.